Hello everyone, and welcome back to another GIS lecture video. And in this lecture video, I want to cover this idea of quantile classification. So in the previous videos, we talked about equal interval and defined interval, where we tried to keep the range the same for each class. For quantile, what we're going to try to do is set it up where each class has the same number of features, or approximately the same number of features. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a little bit of room here. And let's talk about this idea of quantile. So as I just stated and as we talked about in the introduction, the idea with quantile is that each class should have the same number of features. Right? And so this actually is a pretty straightforward calculation, right? What we have to deal with is we have I'm gonna say big F, which we're going to say stands for the number of features. Right. And then we're going to have, again, our n, which is the number of classes. Right. And so to figure out the number of features per class, all we have to do is take this number of features and divide it by the number of classes to get the number of features per class. Okay. Now, this is something that we really need to make sure that we're careful of when dealing with quantiles, is that we never split the same value into two classes, right? And so let's say that we have the value, I'm gonna make up some numbers, right? 9, 11, 12, 12, 12, and 17, right? This is an ordered data set. And by the number of features, right, we want to have two features in each class, right? And so we'd start here, we would go 1, 2, we'd put a break here, 1, 2, right? We would want to put a break here, but we would be dividing a 12 and a 12, and we can't do that. So we would end up putting the break here instead, right? And so you have to be careful that you don't split the same value into two different classes. That's all this is showing. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch back over to our Excel sheet and walk through a worked example using the same data that we used from before. Okay, so this is our data set from last time. Again, we have kept it sorted, so it's still sorted. That's important. And what we're going to do here is we're going to figure out our number of classes is, again, 5, right? Our number of features, right? Our number of features is going to be equal to 25, right? We know that because this is the data set. If we count these up, we'll see that we have 25 features, right? And so the number of features per class, right, we said again, it's just going to be equal to the number of features, which is 25, divided by the number of classes, which is 5. And so we get 5 features per class. So what we do is we start at the first feature. So this is going to be feature 1. And then we simply count 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So these are going to be class 1. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set this up, class for Quantile. Right. So this is going to be 1. The first 5 features are going to be 1, which means our legend here for Quantile, right, is going to be from 11 to 18. Nope, not date. 1 second. There we go. Okay. So then we're going to go to the next feature, and this is going to be the start of class 2. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for class 2. Right, and so this is going to go from 25 to 50. Right, and so you can see here that the quantiles, right, there's a gap, right, because our feature here was 18 and our next feature was 25. So there's a gap in the legend here, and that's because our classes are based on the features, not based on the range of the data set. Okay, so then we jump down again and we go class 3. So the next 5 features are going to be class 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is where I was saying that we have an issue of figuring out what to do with duplicates, right? So this is the 5th feature, but you can see that it shares a value with the 6th. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually keep both of them in class 3. So class 3 actually has 6 features instead of 5 because of this duplicate value here. So this is going to go from 52 to 60. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, and so we see 65 to 74. And then finally, the last features are going to be in our 5th class. And that's going to go from 75 to 100. So hopefully that made sense in the way that we set up quantiles, where the idea is that as close as possible, we want to keep the same number of features in each class. So as always, if you have any questions, please reach out. Thank you.